Baidu, China's Google that dominated search. In the year 2000, while the world watched Google emerge as the undisputed king of internet search, a quiet revolution was brewing on the other side of the Pacific. Robin Li, a brilliant computer scientist who had spent years perfecting search algorithms in Silicon Valley, made a decision that would reshape the digital landscape of the world's most populous nation. Abandoning the comfort of his Wall Street career and the promise of American tech riches, Li returned to China with a vision that seemed almost impossible: to build a search engine that could not only compete with global giants but dominate the Chinese internet entirely. This wasn't just about creating another search portal. This was about understanding that the future of information access in China required something fundamentally different from what the West was offering. Li had witnessed firsthand how American companies struggled to grasp the nuances of Chinese language, culture, and user behavior. He knew that success in China wouldn't come from simply translating Western technology, but from building something uniquely Chinese from the ground up. Armed with cutting-edge patents he had developed while working at InfoSeek, and backed by the conviction that local knowledge would triumph over global reach, Li founded Baidu in January 2000, setting the stage for one of the most remarkable empire-building stories in internet history. The foundation of Baidu rested on Li's revolutionary contribution to search technology long before he even dreamed of starting his own company. While pursuing his computer science degree at the University at Buffalo in the early 1990s, Li had developed a groundbreaking algorithm called RankDex, which would later become one of the fundamental building blocks of modern search technology. This algorithm was among the first to use link analysis and PageRank scoring to determine the relevance and authority of web pages, concepts that would later influence the very foundations of Google's PageRank system. Li's work at InfoSeek, where he rose to become a senior engineer, further refined his understanding of how to make search engines truly intelligent and user-focused. When he filed his crucial patent for hypertext document retrieval system and method in 1996, he was essentially laying the groundwork for the future of web search. But Li recognized something that many of his Silicon Valley colleagues missed. The Chinese internet market wasn't just large, it was fundamentally different. Chinese users didn't just need translation, they needed a search engine that understood the complexity of Chinese characters, the cultural context of queries, and the unique way Chinese users interacted with digital information. By the time Li decided to return to Beijing, he had spent nearly 8 years in the United States, absorbing not just technical knowledge, but also entrepreneurial wisdom about building scalable technology companies. The early days of Baidu were marked by the classic startup struggle of building something revolutionary with limited resources while facing seemingly insurmountable competition. Li partnered with Eric Xu, a fellow Chinese entrepreneur with business development expertise, and together they secured their initial funding of $1.2 million from Peninsula Capital and Integrity Partners in 2000. Their timing appeared either perfect or perfectly disastrous, depending on your perspective. The dot-com bubble was beginning to burst globally, making investors skittish about internet ventures, but the Chinese internet was still in its infancy, representing an enormous untapped opportunity. China had only 22.5 million internet users in 2000, but Li and his team could see the exponential growth trajectory that others missed. Their first challenge wasn't just building a superior search algorithm, it was convincing Chinese internet users that they needed a search engine at all. Most Chinese users in 2000 relied on portals and directory services to navigate the web, making search feel like an unnecessary step rather than a powerful tool. Baidu's breakthrough came from understanding that Chinese search required fundamentally different approaches to language processing, character recognition, and cultural context interpretation. While Google's algorithms excelled at English language content, Baidu's engineers were developing sophisticated methods for parsing the nuances of simplified and traditional Chinese characters, understanding regional dialects in text form, and recognizing the cultural significance of search queries that might seem identical to a Western algorithm but carried vastly different meanings in Chinese context. The competitive landscape that Baidu entered was both daunting and full of opportunity, with international giants and local players all vying for control of Chinese search. Google had already established a presence in China and was widely regarded as technologically superior, while Yahoo China was leveraging the power of the global Yahoo brand and local portal strategies. Chinese competitors like Sohu and Sina had significant user bases and deep local knowledge but lacked Baidu's specialized search expertise. Li's strategy was to focus relentlessly on search quality while building features specifically designed for Chinese users, rather than trying to compete on breadth or international recognition. One of Baidu's most crucial early innovations was Baidu Tiba, launched in 2003, which created topic-based discussion forums automatically generated around popular search terms. This wasn't just a clever feature, it was a profound understanding of how Chinese internet users wanted to engage with information and each other. While Western users might search and leave, Chinese users wanted to discuss, share opinions, and build communities around their interests. Baidu Tiba became the world's largest Chinese language forum platform, with over 300 million registered users at its peak, demonstrating Li's insight that search was just the beginning of what users really wanted from an information platform. The company also launched Baidu Baike in 2006, a Chinese language encyclopedia that competed directly with Wikipedia but was tailored specifically for Chinese users and cultural references. By 2005, Baidu had achieved the seemingly impossible. It had overtaken Google to become China's dominant search engine, capturing over 46% of the Chinese search market compared to Google's 27%. Baidu's initial public offering on Nasdaq in August 2005 became one of the most spectacular debuts in internet history and marked the company's transformation from a promising startup to a global technology powerhouse. The IPO was priced at $27 per share, but demand was so intense that the stock soared to $154 on its first day of trading, representing a gain of over 350% and making it one of the best performing IPOs in Nasdaq history at that time. This wasn't just about investor enthusiasm, it was a validation of Li's vision that Chinese internet companies could build world-class technology and compete on the global stage. The offering raised $109 million for Baidu, providing the capital needed to accelerate growth and expand into new areas of innovation. More importantly, the IPO success sent a clear signal to the Chinese market that Baidu was not just a local competitor to international giants, but a legitimate technology leader in its own right. Robin Li became one of China's most prominent tech entrepreneurs, and Baidu's success story inspired a generation of Chinese entrepreneurs to think beyond copying Western models and instead build solutions specifically designed for Chinese users. The company's valuation continued to soar as investors recognized the massive potential of the Chinese internet market and Baidu's unique position to capitalize on that growth. By 2007, Baidu's market capitalization had reached over $15 billion, making it one of the most valuable internet companies in the world and demonstrating the immense value of Li's decision to focus on the Chinese market rather than compete directly with Google in international markets. The period from 2005 to 2010 represented Baidu's golden age of market domination, as the company leveraged its search superiority to build an integrated ecosystem of internet services while China's internet user base exploded from 100 million to over 400 million users. Baidu's search market share in China grew from 46% in 2005 to over 70% by 2009, while Google's share stagnated and eventually began to decline. This wasn't just about better technology. Baidu had built a comprehensive understanding of Chinese user behavior, cultural preferences, and regulatory requirements that foreign competitors struggled to match. The company expanded aggressively into adjacent markets, launching Baidu Maps to compete with Google Maps, Baidu Music for streaming and downloads, and Baidu Video for multimedia content. Each of these services was designed specifically for Chinese users, with features like integration with local businesses, partnerships with Chinese content providers, and interfaces optimized for Chinese language input methods. Baidu's advertising platform became increasingly sophisticated, offering Chinese businesses tools and targeting options that were far more relevant than what international platforms provided. The company's revenue grew from $39 million in 2005 to over $1 billion in 2010, representing compound annual growth of over 90% during this period. Baidu also began investing heavily in research and development, establishing advanced technology centers and hiring world-class engineers and scientists to work on next-generation search technologies, natural language processing, and early artificial intelligence applications. The company's Baidu Encyclopedia became the largest Chinese language knowledge repository, while Baidu Knows, a question and answer platform launched in 2005, created the world's largest Chinese Q&A community with over 100 million questions answered by users. Google's departure from mainland China in 2010, following disputes over censorship and cybersecurity concerns, created an unprecedented opportunity for Baidu to cement its dominance in the world's largest internet market. While Google's exit was gradual and complicated, involving the redirection of mainland Chinese users to Google Hong Kong and subsequent blocking by Chinese authorities, Baidu was perfectly positioned to capture the abandoned market share and expand its lead. By 2012, Baidu controlled over 80% of Chinese search traffic, a level of market dominance that exceeded even Google's position in most Western markets. This dominance translated into incredible financial performance, with Baidu's annual revenue reaching $3.6 billion by 2012, and the company achieving profit margins that rivaled the most successful technology companies globally. Lee used this period of strength to diversify Baidu's business model beyond search advertising, investing heavily in mobile technologies, cloud computing, and emerging areas like artificial intelligence and autonomous vehicles. The company launched Baidu Cloud in 2012, offering businesses comprehensive cloud computing services tailored for the Chinese market, and began developing mobile apps that would become essential as Chinese users rapidly shifted from desktop to smartphone internet access. Baidu's mobile search app became one of the most downloaded applications in China, while the company's mobile advertising platform enabled businesses to reach Chinese consumers across the entire mobile ecosystem. The financial resources generated during this period of peak dominance provided Baidu with the capital to make strategic acquisitions, invest in cutting edge research, and begin the transformation from a search company into a comprehensive artificial intelligence and technology platform that would define its next phase of growth. Robin Lee's vision for Baidu's future became increasingly focused on artificial intelligence and next generation technologies, positioning the company to lead China's AI revolution long before artificial intelligence became a global obsession. In 2013, Lee began publicly discussing his belief that the future of technology would be defined by artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep neural networks, making Baidu one of the first major internet companies to pivot strategically toward AI development. The company established the Institute of Deep Learning in 2013, recruiting top AI researchers from around the world and investing hundreds of millions of dollars in fundamental AI research. Baidu's AI initiatives weren't just about following global trends, they were about leveraging the company's massive data advantages and deep understanding of Chinese language and culture to build AI systems specifically optimized for Chinese users and businesses. The company launched several groundbreaking AI projects, including advanced voice recognition systems that could understand multiple Chinese dialects, computer vision technologies for image and video analysis, and natural language processing systems that could comprehend the nuances of Chinese text better than any international competitor. In 2014, Lee recruited Andrew Ng, one of the world's most prominent AI researchers and former Stanford professor, to lead Baidu's AI initiatives and establish Baidu Research as a world-class artificial intelligence laboratory. Under Ng's leadership, Baidu made significant breakthroughs in speech recognition, achieving accuracy rates that exceeded human performance for Chinese language processing, and developed advanced machine learning algorithms that improved search results, advertising targeting, and user experience across all Baidu platforms. The company also began developing autonomous vehicle technologies through its Project Apollo, recognizing that self-driving cars would represent one of the most significant applications of AI technology and a massive market opportunity in China's rapidly growing automotive sector. The transformation of Baidu from a search engine company into a comprehensive AI and technology platform represented Lee's most ambitious bet on the future of Chinese technology and his vision for competing with global tech giants on innovation rather than just market access. By 2015, Baidu had established itself as one of the world's leading artificial intelligence companies with research capabilities and technological achievements that rivaled Google, Microsoft, and other international AI leaders. The company's DuerOS voice assistant platform became one of China's most advanced conversational AI systems, while Baidu's autonomous driving technology achieved significant milestones in real-world testing and regulatory approval. Baidu's financial performance during this transformation period demonstrated the success of Lee's strategic pivot, with
annual revenue reaching $10.5 billion by 2015, and the company maintaining its position as one of China's most valuable technology companies. The company's research investments began generating practical applications across multiple industries, from healthcare and finance to manufacturing and transportation, proving that Baidu's AI capabilities could create value far beyond internet search and advertising. Li's leadership during this period established Baidu as not just a Chinese success story, but a global technology innovator capable of competing with any company in the world on pure technological merit. The company's patent portfolio grew to include thousands of AI-related innovations, while Baidu's research publications and contributions to open source AI projects gained international recognition and respect. More than 15 years after Li's return from Silicon Valley, with a simple vision of building a better search engine for Chinese users, Baidu had evolved into a technology empire that dominated China's internet landscape and stood at the forefront of the global artificial intelligence revolution, proving that understanding local markets and user needs could provide the foundation for building world-changing technology companies.
The legacy of Robin Lee's empire-building journey with Baidu extends far beyond the company's financial success or market dominance, representing a fundamental shift in how the world understood the potential of Chinese technology innovation and entrepreneurship. Lee proved that success in the global technology industry didn't require copying Western models or competing directly with established international players, but could instead come from deep understanding of local needs, cultural preferences, and unique market opportunities. Baidu's rise from a small startup with $1.2 million in funding to a technology giant worth over $60 billion at its peak demonstrated that Chinese companies could build world-class technology and compete successfully against any international competitor given the right strategy, execution, and leadership. The company's evolution from search engine to AI platform also illustrated Lee's ability to anticipate technological trends and position Baidu at the forefront of next-generation innovation, ensuring the company's relevance and competitive advantage for decades to come. By 2015, Baidu employed over 40,000 people, operated in multiple countries, and had created an ecosystem of products and services used by hundreds of millions of Chinese users daily. Lee's success inspired countless Chinese entrepreneurs to pursue ambitious technology ventures, contributing to China's emergence as a global technology superpower and innovation hub. The empire that Robin Li built at Baidu became more than just a successful company. It became a symbol of Chinese technological capability, entrepreneurial ambition, and the potential for local companies to achieve global significance through superior understanding of their markets and relentless focus on innovation and user needs.